We'll start with the trade that I took. So I'm going to do the classic hindsight analysis, but it is the trade that we talked about getting involved on. We were expecting price to go up. We were expecting some bullishness. This is my Discord, by the way. If anyone wants to join Discord, hang out and be able to chat, you can do so by using the PrimeXBT link in the description of this video. That is the partner for this video. So shout out to the Prime team. Use the link in the description of this video. Sign up, make an account, use code MAIN50, deposit some money, send me a screenshot showing me that you've done that, and I will let you in the Discord. It is completely free, but if you want to help me out, you want to support me, that's the best way to do it. I don't need your money, but if you sign up for Prime's happy, I'm happy, and I'm gonna keep pumping out these videos for you guys every single week. So we were expecting some bullishness here, right? I talked about it initially here. We got short first into the range low, came up into that order block, we got the trigger. I didn't end up taking this short, but stocks looked shitty, right? And it was dragging the rest of the market down. However, I was watching this weekly close on Bitcoin. So this was posted on September 23rd, so 4 days ago. We talked about the bullish SFP that was about to close on the weekly chart. It then did end up, this is when we called the top on the stock market, no big deal. We did end up closing as an SFP on the weekly, right? And I posted on Twitter, hey, I think we're gonna get some mean reversion here. So my plan was to either long a breakout or some sort of retest of the breaker. I'll show you guys this on TradingView here in a second, or wait for a sweep of the low. I ended up posting this tweet. I told everyone what coins I was looking at, and we got that big pump right after. And I ended up going pretty big on longs on Solana and on Bitcoin and did well, right? Made some money. I did get lucky. I was able to close my longs before we completely full retraced, but I'm actually interested in stepping back into longs, and I'm going to explain why. So first thing I'll go over is the initial setup. So we had a weekly SFP here that closed on Sunday. I wanted to see some sort of 12-hour breaker play effectively, which is this, right? So we had, this is the breaker, boom, that caused the take of the low and of this low. So both of those lows got taken out from that breaker. We got the break in market structure, and now we're retesting the breaker, right? So that's why I'm potentially interested in stepping back into longs now, because a breaker, right, is this. So you have your low here, lower low. This is only a breaker when we break above the high that drove below this low. Then you're longing the retest, because otherwise, right, this is technically a bearish order block, because if it rejects here, right, it's just a bearish order block. But if it breaks market structure after ripping a low, after breaking a low, it breaks up, hence the term breaker, then you play it like this. So that's what you see here, right? Here's your low, here's the candle that drove us below there, right? Boom. And then here's the break above, and then the pullback. But the reason I got in the initial long early is because once we were trading here, we closed the weekly as an SFP. I went down to the lower time frames and I saw what I believed to be was, you know, some signs of potential accumulation or low time frame long triggers effectively, right? So we were coming down into this area. We're within this high time frame bullish breaker. And then we had this reclaim that happened here. So we had, I'm sure you saw a lot of people at this trend line, right? But basically the way I see this, I don't look at the trend line. I look at it this way. We have that order block. We have a deviation. Trade below, back above. Okay, once we got that, we're getting SFPs. We're getting a run below a low and a reclaim. Sure, you can add the trend line break in there, all within the context of a weekly swing failure pattern and a 12-hour bullish breaker, right? So we had the bullish high time frame context to then go look on the low time frame for potential long triggers. So this is pure discretion, because technically my 12-hour setup does not confirm until this happened. Now the 12-hour breaker is live and we're retesting it right now. But technically it wasn't live until that happened. However, using discretion, because I've been trading for as long as I have, trading my same system for as long as I have, I said, well, you know what? We have an hourly breaker right here. That deviation I just talked about, up candle, down move, took out this low, reclaim, boom. So I used discretion. I said, you know what? I'm going to try and jump the gun here because I think that we might pump. And I ended up being right. Is this going to work every time? No, right? Sometimes you're going to get nuked going on the low time frame and trying to guess what's going to happen. But I had a good idea of what I thought might happen, and my risk was adjusted, right? I knew where my idea was wrong. Once we reclaimed this breaker, my risk is right here. So if my potential upside is here, this is a good risk reward trade. So I was willing to take the bet. That's all trading is, right? I didn't even get that good of an entry. My entry was at like 91. It wasn't even in the 18,000s. 2R to there, and then to our 12-hour range high, it was like 2.5R. All trading is reacting to the market, but using risk parameters that make sure you don't get kicked in the ass if you're wrong, because you're gonna be wrong a lot. So if I was wrong here, I was prepared to lose this much money. I had a clear invalidation based on this deviation. I had a clear entry setup based on the breaker. I had my high time frame context, weekly SFP, 12-hour breaker, and then the 1-hour breaker for the entry. So I had all those things lined up. I had my risk managed. I had my target. Boom, boom, boom. Bob's your uncle, right? So I ended up jumping in the trade. I posted about it, right? I posted like right here. I'm like, I think we're due for some mean reversion. Everyone was just dooming. And I'm just like, I've seen this pattern before. I don't know, right? Like, again, I said this was a discretion play in my opinion. I've seen this type of PA, right? We had the SFP. We had a deviation here. We're reclaiming the lows. We had this kind of fake descending triangle play out. Everyone thought that this was just going to puke from here. Why not rip it up and then puke, right? Fuck everyone, right? So discretion, whatever you want to call it. I'm still using price action concepts, but this definitely had a little bit of feel to it. I was live looking at the charts and I executed based on what I saw. What I don't love, obviously, is that we've retraced this move extremely hard. A lot of the buying that happened here, because a ton of buying occurred to make this move go up, didn't even get unwound yet, right? So we had a ton of shorts liquidated and then a ton of longs liquidated. So I do think that this isn't, I don't love how this has returned to the level. However, I'm gonna try one more time to long here and see if I get lucky. And I've afforded myself that risk by getting my last trade right. You know, I can take another shot and I can see what happens. So TP1 here, right? TP2 was the 12-hour range high. Why did I exit my position? And I know it looks corny, right? I get it. It looks corny on Twitter to like long the bottom and then price fully retraces. And I'm like, oh, I also exited the top. It looks corny, but I post my literal like actual orders to show that I actually got in and out. The end of the day, I don't have to prove anything to anyone. I don't care if people don't believe me. I made the money, but I like to try and be up to date with you guys, and especially in Discord, update you on my trades and things like that when things are happening. Because if you longed here with me, then this happened and then I'm like, oh, I exited. That doesn't do you very good. But I don't want you guys to be relying on me to make decisions. So what I'm trying to teach you is my thought process, so then you can go and make these decisions yourself, right? Because I'm not always going to be there posting my fucking setups and shit for you. So you have to be able to make those decisions. So why did main exit? Okay, T1, right? T2. And then what happened when we got to that 12-hour range high? This is a classic topping pattern on Bitcoin. You get the huge inefficient move up, and then you get this right at the top. Weakness, right? So that first initial drive, we never closed above it. First initial wick up, never closed above it. Each one of these candles failed to close above that initial drive. The hourly setup would have been probably something like this, looking for a retest here, right? But it just ripped down. But if you go on the low time frame, I bet you have a 15-minute or a 5-minute setup. Let's see. SFP, bearish order block, break in market structure. So I know it's super low time frame, right? You had to be literally dialed in to see this happen, but that's the PA giving you the entry there, right? Stop, entry, target 1, and then target 2 would be, lower. I did not short this, but when I saw the hourly play out like this, I knew it was time to get out. And at the same time that this was happening, we put in this initial drive, and then we had all of these failures to close above it. the stock market was challenging that low. So that was my sign to like get the fuck out. So again, I'm not always going to be here to tell you live what's happening, unfortunately. But hopefully in these streams and over like the literal 5 years that I've been doing these for you guys almost, I think since 2018, I've been putting videos on YouTube, you are starting to see these things happen in your own chart. But that's a very common topping pattern on Bitcoin. It happens a lot. See if I can find another one here where it's that inefficient move up and then just the full reversal. Same idea right here, right? Very fast, inefficient move up, stalls out, fully retraces. I'm hoping we literally get something like this, right? Boom, boom, boom. So I'm hoping that we're right here right now and we get one more move up, hopefully. Same thing here, basically. This one spiked higher, like this initial spiked higher, but when you see that kind of weakness, break in market structure, bearish order block right here, gives you the setup. See if I can find another one. Right here, exact same thing. Here's your initial spike, never closed above it. Breakdown, retest, puked again, and now we're back at the low, and then got another move up where right back to here, and then it puked again over and over and over. And so that's why I say it's like it's discretion. I've been doing this so long and I've been staring at these fucking charts for so long. When I see that happen, I'm just like, I'm out. But same thing here, right? Same kind of PA, same shit here. Look at this, right? It's that same pattern. Do you see the similarities between this and where we are right now? Right? Same kind of thing. So the more that you do this, the more that you see this stuff in your own charts, the more you're going to be able to make those snap decisions. I also posted this today where I was like, is anyone getting these kind of vibes? Right? Because this does kind of look similar, right? We had this big move up, staircase up, elevator down, then we had the Z candle. Kind of looks similar to this. Like if you look on the daily, kind of looks similar, but not quite as gnarly. This was a very gnarly day for those that remember, those that were way back here. But that was the beginning of the end, man. Once that happened, it was over. Yeah, man, that was a gnarly candle, bro. Holy smokes. But hopefully my thought process makes sense to you guys. I know a lot of you guys who have been following me for a long time, you're seeing stuff in the charts that I normally look for. You're seeing it sometimes when I don't see it. Like I'm getting DMs from you guys and charts being like, yo, Maine, like check out this setup on this pair. And I'm not even looking at it. So I know you guys are learning, which is awesome. That's the reason I do what I do here. I appreciate those kind of messages. Like when you guys send me messages showing me that, you know, you're learning from the stuff I share, it's fucking awesome. Basically what I'm watching now is this, okay? We are still within this range. I do not like how aggressively this came back into this area, but I'm watching this effectively as a potential bullish order block and multiple SFPs of these lows here, right? So I'm basically hoping that this 12-hour closes bullishly, and then on the low time frame, I would want to see probably a reclaim of this. So if we're able to get back above this area here, then you have a long trade, and then this becomes your risk, and then your target becomes up into here. So that would be the long scenario that I'm watching. Maybe you can get in tighter on the low time frame. Maybe you get a lower, a little low time frame pullback here. But right now, this would kind of have to be the setup, in my opinion, right? Is we've run some of these lows here. Where's your risk? Got to be here. I mean, you could argue your risk is way down here, but then you got to be hoping that this is a swing. I think your best bet if you're trying to long here is you want to wait and see if we're able to basically turn this into a 1 hour breaker, then look to get long back up into this floor. That's where I'd take TP1. TP2 could be above here. This is kind of what I'd need to see on Bitcoin to get long. This becomes your risk. The trigger would be above here. Flip this, boom, right? So run all these lows, 12-hour bullish order block, blah, blah, blah. This is what I'm watching right now. Hopefully we get some relief, but we got to see. So hopefully that idea makes sense there. I'm watching these levels here. I want to see this candle close as an SFP of these two lows here, ideally. And then maybe we get one more push towards, the high 19Ks to 20K. And then maybe we go back down. I don't know. But if we lose this 12-hour order block, I'm looking to sell pullbacks into it down into June's low. If you look at the dollar, it's really strong. If you look at SPX, right? Generally, whenever anyone says, well, relative strength, right? Bitcoin is holding above June's low and stocks have already taken it. Usually that's a bad sign. Usually that just means crypto's lagging. And most people who say that shit are fucking usually dead fucking wrong. There's so many awful takes about TradFi from crypto Twitter. It's unbelievable because none of these people even looked at equities, even knew what the DXY fucking represented or any of that shit until the last few months. I just think that now people are like making macro theses and analysis based on something that they don't understand. I don't think that the relative strength argument holds any water. These things are lockstep. If the SPX fails to hold this low, what we need to pray for risk, like if you're a bull and you don't want us to just nuke to below 17K, you need to pray that this is a double bottom effectively, right? So it really needs to get back above here because if we stay here and consolidate below here, we're going to leg down again. And if we leg down again, this goes to 35, I think next is probably the next key level. That's bad. If we drop to here, crypto's going low. It's going down. So I don't care that this is taking its low and crypto hasn't yet. If this does not reclaim the low, crypto will take the low. It's just lagging. I don't think the relative strength is a real legitimate argument. If anything, relative strength or weakness can be used to potentially get in the trade, right? When we had Bitcoin trading up at 20K just the other night here, right? When Bitcoin made this big push, look what stocks were doing. So Bitcoin made a big push above the range and stocks were just stalling out, not getting that same push. So that was more than anything, oh, crypto's leading, right? It's like, actually, I think that this is just a precursor for the nuke that's about to come, right? And then when stocks ended up not being able to break higher, completely retraced the entire move. Looking at it like that, sure, but trying to be like, oh, well, crypto hasn't taken the low yet and stocks have, so Bitcoin's better. I disagree. Like if stocks fail to make this a deviation, like if we fail to just get back above here pretty fucking quick, Bitcoin will take June's low. In my opinion. I could be wrong, obviously. All right, so that's kind of the plan, right? Hopefully this closes not super fucking shitty and maybe we get some sort of bounce here, right? That would be the dream scenario. Not the dream scenario. That would just be it'd be kind of nice. Let's hope that that happens because if we stay below here, we're going to here and then we're going to 17. So low that it's not even on the screen. The reason I like Solana, it seems really reflexive right now. So if you look at Sol BTC, we came off a huge level here and then we're potentially putting in a higher low off the mid-range here. So big SR right here, this previous consolidation bounced. Now we're consolidating here. So if we're able to catch a bid across the board, I do like Solana for potentially being reflexive, meaning that maybe it goes up a little more than Bitcoin. The setup is very similar, right? So we had a weekly run of lows here. We had a 12-hour SFP, gave us that first initial push. Then we SFP'd the high here. And now we're right back into this order block, very similar to Bitcoin. Into the order block here, you've got some lows here that are potentially being SFP'd. So again, if it can catch a bounce here, you target 37. This becomes your little deviation, so your stop, right? And then on the low time frame here, there's gonna be a little 1 hour breaker target. So we'll just draw it out on the hourly just for the blind homies. Go to the hourly, same idea here, right? We would wanna see something like this to trigger our longs, target 1. So let's hope, we'll see. Obviously, very similar to Bitcoin. If this fails, and we start trading below here and holding below this 12-hour order block, right? So if we trade down here, I'm looking for low time frame sells to take us below all these lows, sub 30 again. But there's a lot of very bad macro headwinds still. Dollar ripping, stocks just took out the yearly lows, Apple halting production on all new iPhones or reducing production on iPhones, FedEx numbers were awful, the bond yields are fucking skyrocketing, most currencies trading against the dollar getting absolutely slapped. It's not looking good, bruv. So we have to just play the cards that we're dealt. I'm a trader, so I'm just looking to make money, taking little trades, right? If I can take a long from here to here and then from here to here, or short from here to here, I'm gonna take it. First things first, I'm the realist. Fuck everyone. It is what it is. That's life, right? My life is tough. Just give me money. Go get a job. How about that, bro? Just give me money. Jesus Christ. Go get a job. Yo, bro. Give me money. 1 BTC is still 1 BTC. Main need $500. I do need $500. My goal is to be rich enough to buy the entire chat of Del Taco. Okay, so 500 people watching this right now. How much is a Del Taco? Like $2? I think you can get there, bro. I think you can get there. Man, I used the PrimeXBT link and have been messaging me on Twitter for weeks. Raja, I'm sorry. Message me right now and I will check my phone right now on stream and I will send you the link. You've helped me since November of last year. Save my balance while Zoo fucked me. I'm glad that I was better for helping your portfolio than the supposed billionaire genius who blew up and lost everyone's money. Let me check my DMs here if that guy followed up like he said. Bro said he wants to really be in the Discord. I told him to follow up and he hasn't followed up. What the heck? $10 says BitBoy is still fat. You just made $10. I've traded completely naked. You big man. Thank you, bro. I've been working hard. I can't fucking see the muscles on this camera. It's fucking bullshit. Can't see any of the definition, you know? How do I get a neck like Maine? You can't, man. You simply can't. Hurricane right now in Florida. Yeah, everyone who's in Florida are in danger of that hurricane. Stay safe. And if you need someone to look after your private keys during these terrible times, I will happily do that for you. Carrier pigeon to my location, your private keys. I will take care of it, I promise. I am message Trader Maine with the blue check mark. Not sure why you can't see my message. Raja, what is your handle? Raja. No, this isn't Raja. Now people are pretending to be you, bro. Raja, what is your Twitter? Tell me your Twitter, Raja. Tell me your Twitter, Raja. All right, Raja. It's gonna be a late night for me.